Guys, hello from Kyiv. Amazing sound of bell towers, sunset time, and happy Monday. Misha and I at our usual spot, Michael's Monastery, destroyed Russian tanks and equipment, and Freedom Zone because Ukraine is the capital of freedom and brave people. On the background, you can hear the national anthem, and today we're going to talk about the news updates. Unfortunately, Russia hasn't stopped to attack and killing us. So I'm thinking starting doing video here and then walk a little bit. So last night it was, again, as always, every siren, middle of the night. You sleep part by part, depends on drones and attacks and what is going on. So we intercept 132 drones among 141 in Kyiv region, actually near Kyiv, Borispolsky region. A man got wounded in his shoulder because of the shrapnel, and it was under the attack for residential buildings. The worst happened in Zaporizhia. People were under the debris. In the beginning it was reports about 1 killed, and later it's rise till 3. So 3 killed by Russia in the residential quarter in Dnipro, 10 or 15 residential buildings were damaged and 10 private houses. So Russia is continuing their attack. So in Zaporizhia was just what I see from photos and videos. It was just very tough. We are all living in constant fear on future attack and what is going on next. Later, I want to talk today about post-traumatic disorder in many Ukrainians and how I actually feel, which thoughts I have. So it was the worst in Zaporizhia, as I mentioned. Also from our President Zelensky, I see information that he announced like it's a week of diplomacy, trying to get this war till the end. And many meetings this week, and this week going to be meeting with President of the United States, Donald Trump. So according this information, according to our president, let's see, but we can have as much meetings as we want, but the key from luck, like the key from stopping this war only in the hands of Putin, because if he really wants to finish this war, and this war he can make the such a small cute dog near me. Cutie. If Putin really wants to end this war, he would announce the meetings, make the deal and stop this war and just leave, not to build in a new warehouses for Shahed and producing for Shaheds in many places of Russia. So we all know that only Putin can stop this war, because I also thinking like President Biden gave full support for Ukraine. He was really interested that the war stop and Ukraine can defeat and push Russian back and defeat ourselves. He supported us a lot with all the weapons, and unfortunately he cannot do anything to stop Putin. and why President Trump could stop it. I think in the very beginning, President Trump thought that because of his good relation with President of Russia, maybe he can make the deal and make some agreement that President Biden couldn't do that. But later he understood that for Putin is the priority number one to defeat Ukraine, neutralize Ukraine, capitulation of Ukraine. So nothing more important for him exists. So, and this was Trump misunderstanding, because he really thought his relation with Putin and maybe some communication skills better than Biden would help. So we will see about all this meeting. We already have meetings, and again, if this war really depends on sanctions, President of the United States or somebody else, the war could be over. But everything in the hands of Putin. He can just bring their soldiers back to Russia. But no. So the only chance is when Russia has demographic crisis, money crisis, and oil refinery crisis, then we can talk. Maybe they will be tired of war. But people for Putin is just a grounded meat. So that's why Ukraine continue making drones and struck Russia. And yesterday, Ukraine Defense Intelligence struck Mi-8 helicopter in Crimea and radar system Nebo. So slowly we keep targeting oil refineries and other places in Russia. So it's actually recent news. Also yesterday in Kyiv, on Khrushchev Street, it was Mariupol Day on Sunday. People stay there with their keys. It's called like Kyiv took an official nationwide event, the path to home, and people said that they are not homeless. They have their keys from their homes and showing their keys from Mariupol, but Russia came and stole their home. Stole their flats, so it was also the parade called Way Home or Keys from Home. So they were held Mariupol Day yesterday in the Kyiv center.
Маріуполь! Україна! Маріуполь, ми не безхатькі! Ось наші ключі від наших домівок, які забрав у нас агресор. Ми не безхатькі, ми не бомжі.
And actually, slowly I see that is the news, and going also to talk about post-traumatic syndrome in many Ukrainians, and that is what also I feel sometimes. Very often the work and sport keep me not to think about that much, but third year, even 3.5 years of the full scale and sleepless nights showing some signs, it's complicated. So we and I sometimes waiting for the attack. Why? It sounds strange, but yeah, sometimes I'm waiting for attack because every time, every day, I'm thinking about, like even now, will I have a quiet night? Tomorrow and yesterday, and every day thinking about what's going to be this night. Could we sleep? And this brings some anxiety to my life and some nervous and stress, thinking about, you always worried about nights, what is going on, how is this, what is this, like it gives you some stress, and like you kind of waiting for attack, because when attack happen, you just you go through, and most probably for next 2-3 days Russia will have some break to collect power and attack us again. So sounds strange, but after such an attack you have bad mood for 1 day, then you can sleep. 2-3 days you more or less kind of recover, depends how stressful it was, because some days were very upsetting for me, depends on people, districts, and what I see, what I'm not have seen. So, and this means maybe even 1 week will be quiet. So it means that quickly we have massive attack, then we have some quiet life later. So, and when we don't have the attack, you always worried when it's going to be. Recently it was massive attack. I did the video about Dnipro and Pavlograd, they hit there. I think my latest video were about that. And now we're thinking like probably next will be on Kyiv, like I don't know. And this gives like some thoughts in our minds. This I also wanted to mention. How we all living in a situation of expecting something bad, not something like attack. And what's else I want to share, we just walking to the hill. You can see the leaves is yellow. I took some photos from Kyiv this weekend and just going to see Volodymyr and sharing other thoughts with you. I like to walk in this park. It's, Kyiv is very green and hilly city, and being in the city center, you can just have a nature altogether in this very pedestrian city. So what I'm going to share with you, starting with this what I say, post-traumatic syndrome and 3.5 years of the war. Just want to cover in some topic of traveling. I made the decision like long time ago that Kyiv is the best city for living for me. It's easy to achieve everything here. Like I can say training gym, different hobbies, beauty routine, work, freelance, lots of coffee, cafes, good service, good people. So it's like, for me, it's like really best city to live, and I was born here, live all my life. For me, like the best scenario is just time to time go for travel somewhere. So I'm not considering like moving, and even despite the war and sleepless night, I still living in Kyiv and hoping to live here in future too, and having many tourists in future. And thinking about traveling, in the very first year and more, I understand like the best place is home, and I was just happy to stay here. But when this war is happening, like quick wars, and so like half a year or 1 year, of course you staying here during all the process. But when you see that the war is reaching the dead end, and I'm the person who is not believing that Putin is going to stop, I think, in this war for a very long time. I don't know for how many years, maybe with some short ceasefire and maybe some breaks in future, but I think it's for, I don't know, many years, because even children in the schools and kindergarten, I saw this in the Russian media, wearing already for I don't know, for some concert or whatever, a military form. So they preparing for killing, because Russian army is not for defending themselves. Russian army is preparing for attack, for invasion. And I think it's for a long time. And in February it will be already 4th year in full-scale invasion, and starting the 5th year. And the Russia invaded Ukraine in 2014. And I understand, for me it's the best is living here, and time to time going abroad for the sea, for good sun, for have a break somewhere. And just talking about which problems also Ukrainians and I are facing when we're going abroad, because it's a little bit like double standard, when Ukrainians and Ukrainian women flee the war and leave the country and settle in another place for safety, it's good for them, because they are like escaping from the war. It doesn't matter from which region. Even people flee the war from the west part of Ukraine. So there is relatively, like I can say, safe. There is no safe place in Ukraine at all. And when you go for vacation, last time it was my birthday in March, it's always happened to me. Always people is very, I can say, they don't understand. I was in Tenerife and I rent the car. And when I rent the car, I gave my driver license, maybe passport, don't remember, some documents, and she saw that I'm from Ukraine, and she said exactly like this in Tenerife, like directly, like your country is at war and you come for vacation. And I was just, I even didn't know what to reply. And a lot of people abroad judging us with how we look like. We don't look like a refugee. And I always say, like, we flee from the war, like our girls, not from poor life. Like, our people work, they have money, but they under attack, and yeah, they have some good clothes and they sport you, looking nice. Plus we're very feminine. We really, like, girls like to have makeup, hair, nails here in Ukraine, and different age from, like, I don't know, it's like this is part of Ukraine. Not everyone, but like mostly very feminine, And we go and very people like judge us for that. I don't tell about everyone, but just that is like problem what I'm facing and many people facing. So when you flee the war and stay abroad, you're fine, you're okay, and like you need the shelter. But if you went for vacation for 1 week and come back, that is very strange how you can go, because it's your country is at war. But for me, it's like, if not now, I'm thinking then when. If the war going to be for 1 or for 2 years, yes, that's like how I can say I would stay, I would work. But if this war for 10 years, like let's just imagine next year in 2026, COVID started in 2020. So 6 years, I can say in my case, you are not allowed to, not allowed, you are not traveling 6 years of your life, like of your younger age, and you don't know about like your future, what time you're really going to die, if you're lucky enough to survive till old ages. To be honest, it's like not everyone living till their old ages. So, and I'm just like, we are not trying to put our life on pause. We like living our life, and Kyiv really looks like usual. And for me, even if I go for traveling, it's not the same travel as before. You continue worrying about your family, about your country, and before each travel, I like torturing myself. I have doubts. Should I go? And maybe shouldn't I go? What if I go, then something bad gonna happen and I'm not here? Maybe I can help somehow. Maybe better I stay. But then I understand, like, okay, if I'm going to be burned out and will be extremely emotionally tired, don't have some vacation or some like break and some relaxation, what will be with my nervous system, with my health? Like, I kind of need break, because like everyone has like break and so on, and people going for traveling, and even our soldiers from the front lines came from front to Ukraine, and if their family moved abroad because of the war, they're allowed to cross the border, visit them, and come back. I know one guy, he was in Germany from front in August. Imagine this switch from front to Ukraine to Germany. It's like really, I think I never understand, no one would understand who have not been to the front line and then in peaceful Germany abroad and Kyiv. So it's like very changing. I remember when I was in 2022 in the occupied region in Kharkiv area without any connection and so on. And you get only your connection when you back to Kharkiv in 2022. And when from these regions I came to Kyiv, for me it was very like huge contrast, let's say. So I couldn't imagine what for them. So that is like my speech. Like usually when I go for travel, I also like, I'm thinking till the very last moment, like should I or shouldn't I, like thinking, yeah, okay, I just go because I want just some vacation by the sea. Of course, you can go to Odessa, but it's very crowded during summer, and families and people like, because our men are not allowed to cross the border, and everyone going onto mountains, onto Odessa. It's like completely full and booked. So, and price is not really, price for holidays in Ukraine are really not cheap. It's cheaper went abroad. So, and many girls, they like some girls left Ukraine because of some reasons. Some stayed because they have here husbands, or they waited there, men from the front lines, or men are not allowed, or husband or boyfriend cross the border, and they stayed because they don't feel good to travel alone and left him alone here. Like it's like, you know, they couple, they didn't want to do that. Or some of them stay because of their family reason, maybe they taking care of someone. Like there's many reasons, and I personally not judge everyone like who flee the war, who stayed, like their own decision. So, and I always feel when I go somewhere, I always get some negative commentaries, or like even like when I even travel somewhere, when someone asks me from where you from, and I'm just like, oh, you know, once I met even one girl, I was skiing and there was also abroad, and she has zero interest about Ukraine, but she keeps asking me questions, and you know, it's also strange to talk with a person who knows that only in Ukraine is the war. She's trying to ask questions, but she has no idea about really nothing, and it's very hard to, like, better not even to talk about this topic, because she doesn't know, she has zero knowledge about the country and about the war, and trying to explain all events within last 10 years and from our independence, it's just like it's a lot. So when you also travel and someone heard that you're from Ukraine, sometimes I have different questions which makes me feel very uncomfortable. So I also get ready a little bit for that, because there could be Russians abroad, and it's like so many things. So, but yeah, that's you know, what you can do. And also when I a little bit about traveling. Also, it is first struggle. You go for abroad, you're worried about your country, about those who stayed. You're thinking about that all, and about the attack, and you just also worried because you're abroad, and then you go there, and I stopped using Airbnb for vacation in 2023. I get for Nice, south of France, and I remember I booked an Airbnb, and the owner, found me in Instagram according to my name, and started to message me in Instagram and asking about, am I married, do I have a boyfriend, do I have a husband, he can take me in his car and drive me around. And I understand I don't want to stay in his Airbnb at all, and I have to complain to the property, because if you book there something, they're not going to give you money back. And it was a little bit drama, because he was very unhappy. And then I understand, because even like war, I have to be safe, and plus traveling, it's okay to stay maybe in Paris, in New York. In New York, Airbnb is great. Some cities where people come for studying or for work. But if you go for some vacation cities, I guess it's a little bit dangerous, because plus traveling alone. I love traveling alone, because I can recharge my batteries and just relax by the ocean or by the sea, walk a lot, and come back home. And traveling with family in Kyiv region is a little bit different, to be honest. It's some effort and so on. But if you go alone abroad, it's just, you know, you all by yourself. Zero like plans, some agreements and so on. You just relaxing and swimming and walking, so do whatever you like. And since then, I understand, like, girls from Ukraine, we have like double stress. Plus, first of all, you are a woman. Then you are from Ukraine. It's like different things and different strange men, because some people think that I don't know what they think, and you need some this and this and this and that, and some people thinking that Ukrainian girls ready for everything just to get some passport and move abroad. So like something like this, and. Since then, I stop only in the hotels if I go for vacation, because I understand if there's some reception in good quality hotel. For a girl, it's kind of okay, because of this reason. You don't live in some property using the key, there's some reception, you can always go for the reception, you have your elevator, your room, so it's kind of like much safer. Plus, if you're choosing like good hotel, I really understand this like recent, like 1.5-2 years, and you know what's happened then. When I stayed in the good hotel, it was when it was like good hotel, I don't mean like $1,000 or $2,000. Good hotel is from $100 till $200, something like this with good price, like maybe something like $100 more or less. Like it could be like some fancy chain, and then sometimes have some discounts, so maybe, you know. And I remember then I go again, like in 2023, I stayed in Istanbul in fancy hotel, and the guy wrote me something flying there in the sky. I know about that. So, and one guy wrote me on Instagram. He was, I don't remember, he came to Ukraine, something like this. He was foreigner, and he wrote me about how dare I'm staying in a fancy hotel. I have to stay in trenches. How I dare to go abroad when people fighting, when I should be in Ukraine? And I always like wondering, like, why you message me? Why a person from another country tell us Ukrainians how we should suffer? Am I not suffering enough? Should I suffering more? Then someone will be happier. So it's like, you know, it's always some pressure. So I'm not complaining, just, you know, I'm just sometimes trying to explain through what I'm going through, because if war never happened in my country, I wouldn't even think about that. But you know, the situation creates new thoughts and new things. So this is just kind of, and plus we Ukrainians, we have to book our tickets twice. When I go to Europe for vacation, I usually fly with Wizz Air and Ryanair. For example, ticket for Nice was without luggage, it was like $50, and with luggage it's like $80, something like this. So from Poland or from Hungary, it's Budapest, something like very affordable price. And what is funny, to get out of Ukraine is more expensive than fly from Kyiv get to Poland by train, and expensive than flying from Poland to Nice. Or like I'm going from Kyiv to Budapest, my ticket is more expensive than flying out of Budapest. So we have to buy like 2 extra tickets for one solo travel. Then we go in some, you know, people like kind of surprising that why you travel, why you staying in a good place, why you that. So like sometimes you like kind of, you know, you travel and you don't want to communicate with many people because it's different questions, and especially when you tell someone you are from Ukraine, they just like feel, or I understand, like very sorry, or like they feel very uncomfortable. Then because they may be expecting that you're from somewhere else, but not from Ukraine, but you are from Ukraine, and they like kind of like what's to say next. So I like try and like go. Not to like, this is my best vacation. Go, not to speak with no one, just swim, nature, good weather, and come back. So like this. And I also like my sweater. Maybe I'm wearing tomorrow this. Like, who I am. I can survive in a 5-star hotel. And then shitty train station. Yeah, that's about me. So I can live in a good hotel and have a bad train and other way around. So it's just like, really, sometimes I call like this is life of contrast. So I even don't know what to add more, and I'm going to take my camera with me and my laptop. So just have my routine, walk, enjoy weather, because I don't have my summer holidays. I have not been traveling somewhere since March, so I want to go for some short trip for 1 week. And despite that, the way will take me all here and back approximately like 3 full days, because just to get out of Ukraine you need like 20 hours. So by train. So like this. And what is also funny about all that, within the war, before I was kind of, I can say, if something similar happened to me, I can say, some years ago, before like some huge problems like in family or with the war and so on, I would react more stressful. But now it's like it's okay. While I'm healthy, while we all alive, we all survive, that's kind of like not big problems. So we booked trip twice, and before I booked the tickets to Wizz Air I want to swim in the sea, and this like whole week is rainy, just whole week. And with there you cannot get your cancellation, and I also book the guest house. I also cannot, like, it's like hotel, like some guest hotel and so on. I also cannot get my money back from staying in the hotel, from the tickets. So plus we have to pay twice to get out for the holidays, for train and for the plane. At least I keep my tickets from Kyiv to Budapest I have, and according to this I plan a new vacation with Ryanair to another sunny place, not really far in Europe, just to go and relax. So if something happened to me before, I would be very upset that I cannot get my money back from flights, that I cannot cancel reservation, and it's like everything expired. But I was like, yeah, that's fine. It's not like crazy money. That's kind of okay. It's the most important. Yeah, we all still alive, and you, during all these circumstances, you looking in the life differently, because first of all, there are bigger problems in Ukraine, and the cheapest always is to pay with the money, not with some problems. It's like, you know, my thoughts, just sharing. And plus, if you're going somewhere with the rain, I always thinking like, oh my God, it's so much effort. 20 hours in the train, then you need the Uber from train to airport, then you wait your flight, and sometimes it's a huge gap. Sometimes you wait for a flight like for 20 hours because there's only one connection from Kyiv to Poland or from Kyiv to Budapest, only one train during the day. You cannot choose different departure. And sometimes I wait for the flight 20 hours or 15 hours. Imagine how much way in there to the location, how much waiting. You pay for everything, for food, for some trips, then so on, for what? Just to save this money that you booked for bad weather and just go. You know, there still will be money spending and a lot of effort, a lot of energy. It's a little bit tired to go out. So like easier, like really to cancel it all and plan new vacation. So sometimes like I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, you know, like enough stress in our life, something can go wrong. But this fine is life, and so far I can be full of energy, healthy, and live in my hometown. Nothing really worries me much until we are not dying from rockets, until we all can go for travel. We can somehow live in my hometown, in our hometown, and our members of family are fine. Everything kind of fine. We have our like businesses working, everything working. So everything kind of like okay. So guys, actually, probably that's it what I'm going to say tonight. I just going to check if I have something more in my script. Probably not. Yeah, that's only what I want to say. I'm starting this topic about losing the vacation because before I couldn't go earlier because I was busy with my teeth, and guess what? This work also didn't go as I planned. We have to redo something and rechange when I'm back in October. So during the summer I couldn't went out because I was busy with teeth. It's still plastic. I'm going to travel with plastic teeth, and then the main job will be in October. So it's like a little bit, you know, like nothing goes, nothing works. No travel according to the plan, no teeth, no this, no that. But I'm just like, you know, my main idea, like so far everything is fine, nothing critical, that's okay, that's everything okay. So guys, next video will be from another location. I'm continuing reading the news. You know, your body is traveling, but your brain, your heart are still here. You're still thinking, you're still worried because it's just 1 week of time, and I want to take my camera, just doing my news updates from other location and editing there. Hope I have good Wi-Fi, good internet, and something like this. Need some break. A bit tired, and yeah, actually that's it. Misha saying goodbye. We are going to travel together and have a little bit summer on the end of September. And I hope you will have the productive week. I also hope you have some summer vacation and amazing time. And wishing you a productive week. Thank you guys so much for supporting, for watching my channel. Thank you for everything. The most important, standing together with Ukraine. And Kyiv is waiting for you after winning the war. I hope you all can come and see. And Kyiv could be, and Ukraine could be a very touristic destination after the war. So guys, stay safe and keep in touch. Going to have long travel from tomorrow morning, going to park and finally finish all my job and everything. So thank you, and see you very soon. Bye bye. Misha saying goodbye. Tanya saying goodbye.